Hello and welcome back. Tonight we're going to be making corned beef sandwiches. We went to Sam's Club and we got this corned beef flat. I recommend the flat for sandwiches. You can slice it, it's pretty even slices all the way on like a point that, you know, some might be taller and smaller than the others. This is kind of a set size. So what we're going to do, as you can see, I got some steaks cooking and some more steaks cooking, and then I've got my Anova Pro there at the end where I'm going to cook the corned beef. That's got to get to 140. That'll be there before we know it. But so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut this open, and I'm going to take out the pickling pack and or the seasoning pack that's in there. And I'm gonna wash the meat off, try and get rid of all the juice that's in there and all that, and get it off the meat, kind of clean up the meat a little bit. And I'm gonna come back, we're gonna bag it and seal it again. And that's all we're gonna do at this point. And it's gonna go in the water bath at 140 degrees. Okay, so I've washed the corned beef, got all the juices off of it. All it's on it's a little bit of water here. Just going to pat it a little bit, kind of take that water off. Make it a little easier to handle so it's not as slippery and gooey. That will probably take some of the saltiness out of it, but it'll still have plenty of saltiness by taking out some of that juice and rinsing it off. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get my bag open. What I'm going to do is take this packet of spice that comes with the meat. I'm just going to open it up. I put it in here fat side up. I'm just going to lightly sprinkle some of this all over the fat cap of the meat. Kind of spread it around a little bit. Try and get some good coverage of it. And just, it will cook right in there and help flavor and enhance the meat. So, with that I can go ahead and vacuum seal this thing. I'm going to take some air out of it first before I seal it. I'm just going to manually vac it. So I get a fairly good amount of the air out of there. Make sure it's nice and shaped the way I want, and vacuum seal it the rest. I usually let it sit there for a second to make sure it got a good seal. If there's any juice that has gotten through before the seal was created, I do like to take a paper towel, get in there and get any of that juice after that seal. Make sure there's none in there. And then I like to do a second seal. Maybe I'm nervous. I've never had a bag leak yet, but so I'll do a manual seal on that, give it another seal line. Now that that's done, you got 2 seals on that end. I've got 2 seals on this end when I made the bag. So with that, it's ready to go into the water bath. So my Nova Pro's at 140 degrees there. We're going to set the time here. And because of work and everything, we're going to go 50 hours right there. I've already got the bath going, so that should start the clock there. Now, cooking it that extra 2 hours ain't gonna make a difference. Just making sure it's in there good. Hope we don't have a floater. I'll probably put a bowl on top of it or something later, just to kind of weight it down. But if you notice, there's good circulation. You can see the water circulating. The Pro is doing its job. I also have a rack in here to get water flow underneath it. So, and we'll come back in 2 days and make some sandwiches. Okay, it's been 2 days. This has been going about 50 hours now. So we're gonna get this out, cut it open, pat it dry. We're gonna sear it with our Searzall, and we're gonna put some brown sugar and some tequila on it and caramelize that on there to give it a little bit of a sweet flavor, and we're gonna make some sandwiches. All right, so we got our corned beef out of the water, cut it out of the bag, save the juice because we're probably gonna put that with some cabbage. And I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of lightly pat this dry. I don't want to take all the seasoning off of it. And that's just so we can get a good sear on it. Okay, and now that I got it pretty much patted dry, I'm gonna go ahead and transfer it over to a metal pan that I can put on my stove and sear it on the stove there with the Searzall. And we'll come back and show you that. Okay, so we got our corned beef here on a pan. We're gonna give it a little sear first before I throw on the brown sugar and the tequila. So we're just gonna get that going with the Searzall here. Okay, so we've given it a little bit of color here. Just kind of got it first started working here. And then now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna sprinkle a little brown sugar on it. Just so we can kind of caramelize it on there, give it a little sweet flavor for the sandwiches. Doesn't have to be too much. Just enough so you hit a little sweet spot once in a while. And then we've got a little bit of tequila here. Gonna just add a little bit here and there. And then we're going to go ahead and hit it with the Searzall again to get that to just caramelize. create a little glaze on there. Just to give it that little edge of sweetness. Okay, so we've moved it over to a cutting board. We got some marbled rye bread. This is Earl of Rye or something. Earl of Sandwich, excuse me. Marbled rye bread. Went ahead and took a piece of that, and we were gonna make it with pepper jack. Our pepper jack, the date on it wasn't even open, said it was good till December something. Today is only November 5th, and we opened it up and it was no good. So we had to substitute provolone. So I did take the Searsol and kind of melt the cheese with the Searsol on the bottom piece of the bread. And we're gonna get sliced up and build a sandwich here. Okay, so we got our corned beef sliced up. We're gonna go ahead and make a sandwich here. Let's put a few slices on there. And then I was gonna get deli mustard, although we never got to the store to get the deli mustard, so we're using French's classic mustard. So and there you have it.